Bob, this has been a remarkable week, not only because of the Walt Disney Company earnings, but also because we elected a new president that surprised a lot of people. It's early going, but I know the way you plan ahead. What are your first thoughts about how President Trump could affect the Walt Disney Company?
Well, first of all, I think that so far so good in terms of what I'll call transition, even though it's very, very early. I think both the president-elect, I was going to say the candidate, he's no longer the candidate, president-elect and President Obama have approached this really smartly. Be cordial, be open, understand that the most important thing here is America, not one party or another, not one ideology or another. And so let's be gentlemen about it, and that's what they're doing. That's great for the country. For the country to see that, it just instills confidence in our country and faith that the future is good, even if your ideology is not necessarily represented in the next president of the United States. So I like what I've seen so far, and I think the country's reacting well to it. It's too early to really predict what the policies of a new administration would mean for this company. Believe me, I've gotten briefed on how they might affect us, but way too early to speculate publicly. What I can say, though, is that we've been talking a lot as a company and lobbying a lot about the need for a new tax policy. The corporate tax rate of the United States is the highest in the world. It's not competitive. It needs to get fixed. It needs to get lowered, and loopholes need to get closed. And we definitely believe we would benefit from that happening, and the sooner the better. And I think it's something that's going to be addressed. Might ensue, really too early to say.
So finally, Bob, you're a student of the media. I mean, you've lived your entire professional career in the media. You know it and you love it. It's not too soon, I think, to start asking ourselves the question of the role of the media in this election. I mean, it strikes me that this is a very different media than was in existence even 4 years ago, certainly 8 years ago. And certainly Donald Trump took full advantage of that. Both in terms of being able to get access, particularly on the cable channels, but also in social media. Is the media starting to think about its role in future elections and what role it should be playing as the fourth estate?
There's a lot of hand-wringing about the media this week and its role in the election. And I think that hand-wringing is missing the point. And the point it's missing is that the media today doesn't look anything like the media of yesterday. We're living in a world where the sheer definition of media, and I'm talking about not the definition of what the industry creates, but the definition that the people create, is extremely different than what it used to be. How we get our news, what we consider news, how information travels, how fast it travels, it's vastly different. So I would argue that the media actually played a positive role in this campaign, in the sense that it was ever present, which media is today. It was sort of eyes on, cameras on, voices about everything that went on. Everything was exposed. Everything was subject to scrutiny by the new media. That can't be a bad thing. Now, did the media get it right in terms of predicting the outcome? No. I think that deserves some scrutiny by the media, and how did they get it wrong? But I don't think the manner in which the campaign was covered is necessarily something that deserves criticism. You know, you can always be reflective about it. That's fine. I think there's nothing harmful about that. But what is media today? It doesn't look anything like it did certainly 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when I started my career at ABC 42 years ago. It's just different. And I think it's time that those that follow the media from a critical perspective accept the fact that the media they are following today is vastly different than the media they used to follow, or maybe than they think they're following.